There are problems that we have now, and that there are problems that we've had for a long time, and problems that are going to stick around. You see, we seem to forget that because every single news headline is Chinese Wuhan virus this and Chinese Wuhan virus that. But how did that get here? What are we doing? How do we get a drug problem in America? How do we get a labor problem in America? Why do all the districts along the Mexican-American border, why do they all go from red to blue steadily? Why does the Democratic Party as a whole support the complete abolishment, for the most part, of borders? Why? Are we allowed to ask these questions? Are we allowed to answer these questions? I mean, here is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to set politics aside and just look at this from a macro level, we've had this talk before on the show, you and I, about how America will fall one day. We don't know whether that's 50 years from now or 2,000 years from now. I don't pretend to know that. But when they write the history of America's fall, do you think sharing a border with a failed narco state is going to be part of that fall? Do you think that's going to be part of our history? In the same way we all look at the history of Rome and we try to learn lessons from it. Well, they did this. That was stupid. Oh, man, I can't believe they did that. How did they not see that coming? Well, when you're in the moment, you can't see it coming. Shouldn't we take a moment here in the United States of America and think about it? Shouldn't we think about the fact that we have people pouring over our border and we don't know who they are? Not only do we not know who they are, we're now making promises to them. One party at least, and half of the Republican Party, but one party at least is making promises to them that we're not even going to send you back. We have no control of the border. We do not have operational control of our border, and there is no push right now, none, to get operational control. Do you think operational control of a border is fairly important? What if, and look, this is purely a hypothetical here, but what if, let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's say a deadly disease broke out in another country, and that other country couldn't control its borders and keep control of that disease. And that country's people with the disease started traveling abroad. And they got to that country that shares a border with you and it wasn't secure. Can you even imagine what the repercussions of that might be? It's difficult to picture, but man, we might even see business closures and people's jobs being wiped out because of that. We might see people dying. I know that's just way out of the realm of possibility, but it happens, right? And we have this drug problem, and we're all focused on some virus right now. But the drugs in this country wipe out several times more than this virus will ever hope. Every year they do that. And they're pouring in from across the border. Or the international criminal organizations across that border are outsourcing them and actually making the drugs here. And still, we have the man who's likely to be the Democrat nominee for President of the United States of America saying things like this.
In the first 100 days of my administration, no one will be deported at all. From that point on, the only deportations that will take place are commissions of felonies in the United States of America.
So to be clear, only felons get deported and everyone else gets to stay?
Yes. Yes.
That's insane. Insane policy. Not only the policy itself is insane, but the signal that sends to the South. Let me explain something to you. I don't know if you're aware, but in Mexico, in Central America, in Colombia, they have televisions too. They're not churning their butter out back with a big wooden stick and riding a horse and buggy. They get CNN as well. Let's say the economy takes a real big downturn, and by the way, with everything that's going on right now, that's the likely scenario. Let's say the economy takes a nosedive, a big one. Let's say the American people decide President Trump isn't for us. Maybe we should go with Joe Biden as president. Do you know what would happen from the second the election happened if Joe Biden won until he was actually inaugurated in January? Do you know what would happen at our southern border? Let me clue you in. Are you ready? Come in, because this has happened before. it would be a flood of humanity across that southern border because, like I said, they get CNN too. They watch that too. That is a welcome to America sign pasted on our southern border. How in the world, as a political party, can you stand for something like that? Yes, I understand you're always doing this outreach here and outreach there for votes, but how can you stand for the absolute destruction of your own country? I mean, you can say it, and it may make you uncomfortable, but the truth of the matter is, how can I look at something like that and say you're anything but anti-America? Not un-America, anti-America. You have a policy like that, old moderate Joe. You have a policy like that, I can only assume you don't give a crap about your country. And in fact, you actively hate it. Do with that what you will. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me, like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.